Hello, Willikins, and welcome back to another episode. So, today I wanted to talk about intermittent fasting and intuitive eating. Now, these are two different things, two majorly different things. Intermittent fasting is not a good trend to be on. The majority of these people, they typically spend half the day, sometimes longer, without eating. So right away, that sends up a red flag because that is affecting your adrenal glands. And what happens is we become fatigued. It's called adrenal fatigue. And so, what do they do to keep that energy going? Usually they will look to coffee, matcha, green tea, anything that has some kind of caffeine in it, just to keep them awake and have that energy. Now, why am I saying energy? Is because that is not actual energy that you are getting. It is your adrenal glands over producing to keep you okay and safe and alive. So you're constantly overworking your adrenal glands, giving you adrenal fatigue. And some people who claim they are not drinking the caffeinated products, it's because when you hold off on mineral salts and glucose for too long, your adrenals take over and release adrenaline to fill in for blood sugar as your body's defense mechanism to power you through your day. So the energy that you're getting is not energy, it is your adrenal glands overproducing. So your body is constantly in that fight or flight mode, which is not okay. You are putting your body through more stress than it needs to. So I hope that you can see that intermittent fasting is not the way to go, especially because a lot of the time people are not reaching their calorie count, if you do keep that in mind. Because a lot of the time people sometimes only do one meal a day, sometimes they do two. And that just really isn't substantial enough. What we need to do is intuitive eating. So, what is intuitive eating? Well, one, it is listening to your body. It is really focusing on, okay, am I hungry? Can I eat right now? Or am I just thirsty? Those are the things to keep in mind. And just to be clear, intuitive eating, you really should be eating at least 1.5 to every 2 hours. Why? Because that is the amount of time that we need between each meal to have glucose. We need to have that for our adrenal glands. So that way they aren't put into that adrenal fatigue state, like the intermittent fasting. Sometimes if you have 3 meals a day, which is typical, you are, again, putting your body through additional stress than it needs to be. Why? Because in between those times, are you having any fruit? Are you having any snacks? A lot of the time people say no. A lot of the time people only have lunch and dinner, which is still not good. That's basically along the lines of intermittent fasting. So what we need to focus on is intuitive eating. Intuitive eating is listening to your body. Like I said, it is going every 1.5 to 2 hours eating. Now, what you're eating really affects your adrenal glands. Okay, we want to keep that in mind. Think of it as the grazing effect, to relate to intuitive eating. Okay, every once in a while, you'll want to have grapes, celery, apples, and dates. These glucose sources. So that way our adrenal glands aren't like, hey, we're freaking out, we're gonna go into stress, and now your adrenaline is going, and that's where your energy is coming from. And if you don't know, that is not a good thing to constantly be using up your adrenal glands, because you're not constantly in or needing to be in a fight or flight mode. We want to save those for moments when we really do need them. Let's say you get into a car accident. You want to have that fight or flight adrenaline during that time so you can have almost these superhuman abilities to survive the outcome. But if you deplete that because you're not eating enough, you're having the caffeine products, and that also includes coffee, matcha, green tea, chocolate, and the like. And decaf also is in that category. It still has caffeine in there, so be careful. All of these things, plus you're not eating enough, is putting your adrenal glands into a state of stress. So keep that in mind. And you really want to avoid foods high in fat. Again, it's just our bodies don't need high amounts of fat. You are what you eat. So the more fat you intake, the more it comes onto your body. So keep that also in mind. So why do people claim on an intermittent fasting that they see benefits? It's usually because a lot of the time they're avoiding those higher fat meals right in the morning, which helps with our digestive system. We can't take a lot of high fat in the morning. It's just not good for our bodies. Our liver's just waking up. It needs hydration. It needs fruit. It needs vegetables. And when we are putting high fatty stuff into our bodies right in the morning, it's not a good thing. So, and it can cause sluggish liver and stagnant liver, and we don't want that. Those can cause some other effects that we just don't want, right? Because that can lead to weight gain, that can lead to a lot of other stuff. We don't want to deal with that, right? So they are only temporary, right? Because after a while, our bodies are like, okay, we're hungry, we haven't eaten enough, because you've restricted your calories, and now you're going to binge eat on something that's not healthy. Typically it's ice cream, sometimes it's cookie or cake or pie, because we're looking for that glucose. We're looking for that sugar that our adrenal glands need. So I know that this is kind of a lot of information thrown at you, but I just want you to keep in mind, I am here to help, okay? That is why I do these videos. That's why I put out this information. When I learn something, I want to share it because it's important to me to help others. So, and I've come across quite a bit of people who are doing this intermittent fasting, and I really want to send this out because It's like a big red flag. Please don't do this. It is not the right way of going about doing things. If you're looking at it from the perspective of you want to lose weight, it is not the way to go. You're going to end up binge eating in the end. You're going to end up, a lot of the times gaining it back because your body's like, okay, I need food. So just keep that in mind. Intuitive eating is the way to go. Listen to your body. Get more glucose in. That's what we run off of. That is our energy. So is fructose. But still, we need these sources of sugars in our bodies to survive. We are frugivores. So, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, found it informational, beneficial in some capacity, and I will see you all on the next one. Thank you, and if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. It really means a lot to me, and hit that like button as well. All right, have a good one.